If you want to co-host, you have to aim your face this way.
Boring, cluttered, cold, catch-all, hodgepodge, dark, uninspiring, kind of depressing.
Hi everyone, I'm Andy. Welcome to Furniture Fables. And welcome to my dining room / music room / office / spillover, very echoey room. It's pretty dark in here. It's about 3:30 right now. We're not getting a lot of light, partly because it's November and we're also a little bit surrounded by oak trees.
There are no can ceiling lights in this room. The only fixed lighting is this chandelier that hangs over the piano. To the left of the piano, there's that Scandi modern oak hutch that has always looked so overwhelming and bossy in this very white, pasty room. This side of the room has 2 windows and an oversized green lamp. Here you can see that little red stove in the corner next to the table, and just daylight on this side from those big picture windows.
So I've got 11 people coming for Thanksgiving. It's not an enormous amount of people, but it's not small either. And I'd like to be able to seat them all comfortably, and I would really like to have this room not look like a white dungeon. Kind of looks like a white cave right now, and it's very, very echoey. This is my assistant, Pangerbon. She will be helping. Pangerbon, turn this way. Yes, it's more polite. What do you say? Should we get to work? You're not supposed to be standing on a table. Have to disinfect the table. Let's just do a little zhuzhing. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want to add a ton of stress and strain and cost to my / our lives, but I would like to do just a few things that are going to just make this room feel a lot warmer, a lot cozier, a lot brighter, and have actually some light in the room. So today's fable is going to be a little bit different. Why don't you just come along with me and let's see what we can do to this room. That's super helpful. Okay, here we go. Let's go, Pangerbun. Let's go. We have lots of work to do.
The first project I decided to tackle was our little stove's corner. You can see that at some point in the past, I attempted to give those bricks kind of a whitewash, but against that alabaster paint on the walls, they looked just kind of sad and dingy. And oh, those floor tiles I painted. Yikes. They are showing their age. So to brighten up this corner of the room, I called in for reinforcements.
Against the spot.
Sibling humor. The girls did a great job prepping the bricks, and then I gave them some of that alabaster paint we used on the walls to paint the bricks. I think that will brighten and warm up this corner. Careful there, we gotta keep your cup level. Okay, things tend to get silly when the girls work together. I don't know where they get that from. Hey, looking good. Good job, Ellen.
Mine's better though.
We get that little spot there. Next brick over. Go yeah, right up there.
Good job.
No one shall make them afraid. They'll be singing the nation we've made.
Wow, so much brighter looking and so much fun giving these two a mini tutorial in a basic paint job. My next task was to do some shopping, and the first stop was the fabric store. I headed straight for the discount shelf and found some jewel-toned fabric.
Thanks, you too.
Then I headed on over to Michael's and went straight to the flower section. Ooh, look at all those colors. Looking for things with a little bit of a draping ability. I was clearly having all kinds of fun. And you know what? This was over a week before Thanksgiving, and all of the fall flora was 70% off. So a great time to do an autumnal craft. I headed back home. Okay, it looks like a little bit of Christmas snuck in there too. And then I began to think about my seating setup for the big dinner. I find that until I set up the seating, I cannot really wrap my brain around anything else. This is a 5x7 rug that I recently used in staging that pretty serpentine dresser. And I liked it so much that I ordered 2 of them to go under the Thanksgiving tables. 2 5x7s will create just the right shape for this and add some great color and pattern, as well as some softness to our very echoey room. A measuring tape is great. Ideally, we will have 3 feet of space around the sides of the tables. I got John and Ellie to help me out, and thus began the great table shuffle of 2023. Lots of discussion, lots of talk about how that stove brick platform is right in the way. Someone suggested making an L shape. Pausing here to tighten the legs. Eventually, we all agreed that putting the end of one of the tables against the wall would be the right call, giving the space we needed at the other end for someone to sit comfortably and for folks on the window side to be able to get up and down for seconds and thirds.
The best table seating ever, oh my God.
Or fourths, or whatever they would like. The table's in place, it was on to the next task.
So we've got some very dark, this looks black, but it's dark navy blue, some gold, this is green, and this is kind of a lighter blue. So we have enough to do 2 chair cushions in each color.
Cool.
You wanna help with that?
Sure. It's teenage enthusiasm at its best.
I have homework.
Hey, the relatives are coming. Homework, schmomwork.
Project time. Okay. Girls, please. Do you remember when I covered these chair cushions?
Yeah.
You were probably, what, about 8 or 9 years old? I went to Party City and I found some tablecloths on sale for about $1.99 in this big oversized, thank you, lemon print. And I thought, I'm so clever because look how cheap this is, look how inexpensive. And I knew we would just destroy things. As you can see, we ruin things, we destroy things. That's what we do. It was not the best choice because it's a little lemony.
Mm-hmm. It's very lemony.
So the first thing we need to do is take off this old stuff, okay? So we're just gonna grab it.
Working on a project together is such a great time to talk to your teenager and give them lots of parental wisdom.
This is literally one of the greatest tools ever invented. So when you move out, you get your first apartment, have a painter's tool. Yep, I'll give you one.
And it was also a time to share one of my more embarrassing stories. Hang on to your hats, folks. This actually happened to me.
I had all the chairs out and I was working on them and I was, cutting fabric and pulling things and doing whatever, and I forgot that all of the seat cushions were out of the chairs. You remember this? And I sat down, sensing that there was a chair behind me. I sat down into the chair and of course my bottom went all the way through. And it was like I was stuck, like I was trapped in a chair to my knees, like with my legs dangling over the, like my butt almost touching the floor. my arms like up like this. I was a lot skinnier then. I was trapped in this chair, right, John? I was trapped. And my husband, thank God, happened to be there because I tried to get myself out of the chair and I could not do it. I could not do it. I would be stuck there today. I would have passed in that chair and that would have been terribly humiliating.
That's why I love that scene from the Money Pit so much. Because it reminds me of that real thing that happened.
My husband started laughing.
And let's try Brad.
And I was panicking
Hello, I'm here.
and could not breathe all that well.
I'm here. My chest is constricted. I can't shout.
And, I mean, do you remember that? I was like, I was trapped. I mean, just think like,
We got thrown there like within 2 minutes.
think if, there's the chair. I got trapped in one of these chairs. Like I say, I was a lot skinnier than. I'm really glad you were there. I could have died. So if you are ever refinishing chairs, daughter,
Yeah.
alone, don't get trapped in a chair. Have someone there with you. It's because who knew? Who knew that was a danger? But it is.
Yes, who knew? Or maybe it's just me. It takes a special talent to trap oneself in a chair.
Is the green bad? Is the green
No, they're
throwing off?
really pretty.
Green's pretty. Okay.
Or maybe not. I don't know. You make the call. What?
Oh, design decisions. But honestly, I love doing a project with one, two, or all three of my girls. We talk about the silliest of things and the most important of things, and we laugh a lot. To me, these moments are as much a part of the holiday as being all dressed up and sitting down to the main meal. And I think my faithful assistant Pangerbon agrees. Those jewel-toned velvety fabrics came out great. No, not a pro-level job, but a huge improvement, and they really set off those vintage oak chairs. Speaking of oak, this is some oak corner trim that I'm going to miter and use to create a frame. These corner clamps are awesome, as is my new knee pad. After gluing, I grabbed some wood filler and I filled those corners and then sanded those back smooth. Then I grabbed some of my favorite stain and finishing oil by Fusion. I'm actually adding in a little bit of the natural to the Cappuccino shade to make it go a little bit further. There was only just a little bit left. And then I'll paint it on with a chip brush, let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then wipe it off. Easy peasy, one and done. That's why I love it. It dried overnight, and then I grabbed some wicker or cane webbing and I stapled it into the inside of the frame. Because this is corner trim, it's already kind of got that three-dimensional aspect to it, making this part really, really easy.
So I have always wanted to try a little DIY idea that I've had in my mind because those hardwired chandeliers really don't make sense for us, for this house, in this room.
Because we are constantly moving the table around.
What I need is something temporary, and what makes a lighting fixture temporary is its ability to support, obviously, some kind of battery operated light source, and being really, really lightweight, because if we're going to hang it from the ceiling without anchoring it into an actual stud in the ceiling, without hardwiring it in, it's essentially going to be hanging from a ceiling hook. And once that special occasion dinner is done and the tables need to kind of move back around, one of them is going to go back out to the garage, this one's going to get turned, and it no longer makes any sense. It can be easily removed, no fuss, no muss, no massive ceiling repair necessary, and it can just wait for the next special occasion dinner, perhaps Christmas time. Okay, so what in the world am I up to? Here I have got my screen, essentially, or shelf. What we're gonna do is build some wonderful drama down here. Okay, so essentially what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start right here so you can see. I'm just going to bring it up through the cane webbing. I want it, pretty close right here. And then I'm just gonna tuck that end piece right down there. And there I've got a little floral piece anchored right in there. All right, so I am gonna just keep on, I'm gonna cut all of these little white florets off of this piece. I'm gonna just back you up a hot second so you can see there. Don't ever do that. That's really, really naughty. You're not supposed to do stuff with your teeth. Sorry, Mom. Okay. Cane webbing is nice because, of course, it's pretty on its own. It is actually pretty. And so if a little bit of it shows through, cool, that's fine.
Adding the flowers this way means that I can easily change them out for a whole different look depending on the occasion or the season.
I have to tell you that I love that autumnal decor no longer has to be orange or brown and gold and orange. All of these colors are just warm. They have a glow to them. They look like a beautiful sunset to me, honestly. They're really, really fun.
When I was about halfway through adding the flowers, Franny came in and helped me add the lights. This is a 10-foot long curtain light, a short curtain, not long, and we are going to just weave it into the screen. The screen is just a little bit over 5 feet, so by placing it a little bit inside that frame, we should be able to have enough to get all the way around. All right, time to hang some curtains. Now, I am not typically a grommet girl. I prefer to get curtains without grommets, but these curtains I found on Amazon were just the right length, the right price, and the right color. I think this rich cognac is going to really help transform this boring, pasty white room. And don't worry, I'm going to double up over here on this side. By the way, these curtains feel amazing. Amazon showed me these wall sconces and I grabbed them actually for furniture fables because I thought they would be fun even to use in staging, but they are just battery powered. You can change the color of the light. I probably won't use this, but the children will enjoy it. Super bright white, a little bit more warm. Yay, suddenly we have light here from this wall. And if you look across diagonally from here, booyah, da-dum, there's the other one, little pair there. LED, remote control, no hard wiring, yay, I'm a fan. And it took like 10 minutes to put them up. To me, that's a good deal. Light. Huh. Okay, I've got a lot of mirrors in this room trying to help me reflect more light, and this old vintage one that looks like it was originally part of a cabinet, it's just looking so very dated with its dingy white paint. And this whole vignette over here is just looking sad to me. I love that oversized green lamp base, but everything else not so much. And then there's this vintage mirror. Probably originally it was attached to a dresser. Here you can see it in this shot. It just kind of disappears, right? And it's just looks too white and too dingy. So let's wake these two up. I grabbed my Fusion fan deck and started looking through it, and I found my first color that I really, really liked. And so then I cleaned both of the mirrors. And I grabbed this blue pine. Oh, I love this color so much, and I think it's going to play beautifully with the cognac curtains and those brass sconces that it's going to be kind of snugged up right against. I am not going to worry about sanding or filling in any imperfections on this old mirror. I'm just going to go for it. Okay, so that cabinet mirror has these hinges still on it, but that's a little too on the farmhouse nose, so to speak, for me right now. So I'm going to go ahead and remove them so it will look a tad more modern. This latch, though, I really like, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off and give it a bath in some boiling water and vinegar. That's going to help loosen that old white paint. Then working with my fan deck again, I am finding myself gravitating towards these warm, rosy kind of terracotta shades. This one is a custom color mix. I don't have the exact shade of red, but I think the one that I do have will be close enough. And I do have that deep yellow. Fusion's fan deck is great that way. It comes with these recipes, so you can easily mix up lots of different colors. Okay, pretty close. Don't worry, I mixed that paint a lot more. I think this shade will be great given how rough the surface of this mirror is. Again, kind of leaning into that plaster look. I gave both of the mirrors 2 good coats. Okay, I think it is obvious that the crook of this piano is crying out for a Christmas tree. Well, okay, how about a Thanksmas tree? A Christgiving tree? Yay! Some kind of hybrid. Franny and I are adding in some faux eucalyptus leaves to kind of, break up the snowiness. And then we're going to add these faux dried hydrangea flowers that have those warm shades again of copper and rose. And then we're going to add a little wicker tree skirt. Well, Franny and the dogs will add the tree skirt. Pangerbon and I will supervise.
Vinny is helping. Are you helping, Vinny?
So I thrifted this lamp. I think I paid about $20 for it, but let's see if we can level up its shade. Remember this one from my anthropology-inspired secretary? I'm not sure if it's the perfect fit for this base, but let's give it a try. Shall we?
The bottom of the shade to come about here. So this is actually a little bit big. This base is a little big.
Yeah, the lamp base is a little big. Replacing that harp for a shorter one. I think this will work. I guess I should take the tag off. Okay, let's shine up our mirrors and get them hung. Oh, Andy's getting tired.
Help.
Little bit of a touch up. And now to hang my lighting creation. John added those mini brass hoops to the ends. And then we used some natural string to just thread through those and attach it to the ceiling. John took charge of the centering over the two tables job, and he added 2 small drywall screws. Again, I'm going to get away with this because this is a really light light I've made. A lightweight light. And again, Ellie came over and helped us to get it level. Once it was up, I could see exactly where I wanted to add or move around the flowers. Okay, time to set the table and get myself cleaned up. Do you remember my dining room from before? A dingy white, cluttered and cold, and definitely not ready for holiday hosting. Well, here it is, now.
Wow, this room has transformed. I didn't paint the walls, I didn't buy new furniture. With the addition of rich fabrics and accents in a modern color palette, and of course, light. Light. More light. This room looks ready to party. That Scandi modern, very large, very dark oak piece finally looks like it makes sense in this room, balanced out by those rich, beautiful cognac curtains. And John's bar that looked so out of place in here as well when it was still anemic and pasty white. Finally, with all of this balance of rich color, it just looks, well, it looks very handsome. My French provincial and Scandi modern table have been married together in perfect symmetry with the time-honored Thanksgiving tradition of matching tablecloths, of course. And my birthday lampshade, while that may not be its forever home, haven't totally decided. I absolutely love what it is doing over there for that vignette. We've got a lot of color over on this side of the room, and that is bringing balance to the other side. And then, of course, there's my chandelier. If I had to pick one thing that's my favorite, I guess it would be that light fixture. It's whimsical, it's a little bit over the top maybe, but I love it. It's so celebratory. It's something that would have captured my imagination when I was a little girl, and I just think it says holidays. And it was so easy. It was really, really easy. It was not that hard. I cannot wait for my family to get here and we can finally get to the most important part, the cooking. Just kidding. Actually, it's just being together. But the food is good too. The food is good. I hope that today's fable was fun and maybe a little bit inspiring. Remember that most of the products I got were from Amazon. They were relatively inexpensive and easy to get, and they are probably on sale right now. They are all linked below in the description box. If you have got a room with a case of the doldrums, just like I had, just a few strategic changes, and you will be ready to celebrate. From Pangerbon and me, good job, design assistant. You were very loyal. You were here through the whole thing. Thank you so much for joining me, my friends. I will see you next time for more Furniture Fables. I have to get lower candles. That's a little close. I don't think I should light those.